Big, out of all the interviews that you've done, and you've done probably thousands upon thousands, what was the best interview? The one that you loved the most that was dear to you?
It was a few of them, man. It's crazy because, like, sitting with Michael Jackson, who does that?
I didn't even know you said with Michael Jackson. I'm about to go look for that. Is that online?
Nope.
How did that go?
It was just a sit down meeting. I didn't even record it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
He summons me to Las Vegas, and I went and sat with him, and we spent the day. You know what I'm saying?
How was that?
It's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing, dude. Barack Obama.
You spent the day with Mike.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen videos of Mike in the back of these cars, like real ladies Mike. Is he like that? Is he got a deeper voice like people say? Does he sound like that? What is Mike like when you spend a day with him?
Relax, Mike.
He was laughing at shit I thought Michael Jackson shouldn't have been laughing at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, bro, it was no cameras around. And I think he really enjoyed hanging with us. Because even when it was time to leave, my man was like, this is how powerful this motherfucker knew he was. My man said, it was the CES, that electric show that goes on in Vegas. My man was like, oh yeah, that CES show is going on. And he was like, oh, you know, we should all go together. We'll all go together and we'll go after hours and we'll just have our, I'm like, this motherfucker know that when the CES show is over, he can walk in with whoever he want and they'll hold it open for him. My man told me, he was like, you know, he said, they were talking about how big I was, how much I weighed. And my man said, why did you lose the weight?
Mike asked you that.
Yeah. And I remember I said, you know what, man? I said, I was, 32 at the time. I'm over 500 pounds. I'm looking and I'm like, do I have more life behind me than I have in front of me? I said, how many 64-year-old, 500-pound men do you see walking around? And if they are around, that's not assisted with a breathing apparatus or walking on crutches or something like that. And as I'm saying it, I remember, dude, he just kept looking at me. He was going. And I felt like I was saying exactly what he was thinking.
Right.
Like take care of yourself.
Right.
And my man asked me, he said, can you go into a store and go shopping? And I was like, yeah. And he said, you can go in and just put things in the cart and just make it out the store without people really. And I'm like, man, I said,
I don't know if you could do that, Big.
Yeah, but it's different. I can go to a store, people will recognize me.
Right.
I go to the store, Michael Jackson go to a store, the world stop.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in the fucking mall or whatever, they running in that motherfucker. And so he was like, you can put things in the shopping cart and just shop. And I was like, yeah. I said, who the fuck you think I am, Michael Jackson? He's like, shit. And dude, he would just laugh, man. Just laugh like a motherfucker, bro. So those are the moments.
So he just called and he just wanted to hang out for the day?
Yep. He wanted me to hear something and
hear a record.
Yep. It was when they were doing that Thriller. I don't know if it was Thriller 25, 30. I don't know what it was. But yeah, he had called us up and
that was dope.
Yeah, man. And dude was just like, and it was crazy, man, because I remember looking and I was like, that's motherfucking Michael Jackson right there. You know what I'm saying? Because when we got to the studio, he wasn't there. And then I went to go use the restroom real quick. And when I came back, the studio had like a glass door. And all you could see is like, just from here on, you could just see like a couch. You couldn't see in the studio. But I saw this kid sitting there, probably like about 3 or 4 years old, about 3 or 4. And I was like, oh, shit, that's Blanket. Now, at this time, the world hadn't seen Blanket. Remember, he used to cover him up and all that shit? And so I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, shit, that's Blanket. Then when I walk in, he's sitting at the board, and they like, hey, Michael, this is Big Boy Mike. And I remember I was wearing a Big Boy's Neighborhood shirt. And when he stood up, he was like, oh, I love your shirt. And when he went to shake my hand, I was like, this motherfucker's hand. You know, it wasn't like,
Right.
His shake was like, yeah, motherfucker. His shake was like that. And I remember, when we went to go get the picture, I remember when I said, hey, Mike, you know, can you take a picture of us, so on and so forth? And I remember I grabbed his arm. And this motherfucker's arm was like, I thought it was going to be scrawny.
Right.
Like, this is about a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but people say, oh, he dropped his voice a little bit. And I could hear it, you know,
right.
but he stayed here.
Right.
He stayed right there. But you could, you know, you could hear it. Yeah, but that was those moments like that where, you know, like, damn.
Big, who do you think? Because I have the idea who I think. What artist has the Michael Jackson effect to you that's out there right now? For me, the only person I see in that lane is Beyonce for me. Yeah. Where anywhere she goes is over with. Is there another artist or who else do you see that's gained that sort of notoriety and as big as Mike?
No one.
No one.
Because I lived it and I saw it.
Right.
And I lived it and I saw it when it was actual records being sold. And it wasn't social media and it wasn't streams. It was people, you know, that was falling out at concerts.
Right.
You know, so you could look at certain things. For one, if Michael Jackson is that one, everybody else is distant.
Wow.
You know, and when I say distant, Beyonce got an effect.
Right.
CB, Chris Brown got an effect.
Right.
Taylor Swift she's got a fucking effect. You know what I'm saying? Where Beyonce is somebody's Michael Jackson.
Right.
You know, Taylor Swift, you know, go to football games, the jerseys sell out. Her man wears something, that shit sell out. Monday Night Football, when the brothers played, thinking the families were going to come together, that was the biggest fucking Monday Night Football game in 30 seasons or some shit.
He got 1 million followers in like 3 days.
Yeah, so there's an effect
crazy
there. And then I think Chris gets it a lot because the entertainer side. You know what I'm saying? But Chris, you know, I sat down with Chris and I asked him, how do you feel about the comparisons with Michael Jackson? And Chris would tell you, like, man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like that, you know, because Chris grew up off of Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. You know, so to be mentioned, that's beautiful. But Chris is what he told me, like, nah,